Hey guys, this is Bumblebee85 coming at you again with another video review. This time I'm going to review Transformers Titans Return, Leader Class, Autobot Apex, and Powermaster Optimus Prime. He's from Hasbro. This is the Generations line. He is definitely a larger Transformer than I'm used to reviewing, but I wanted to get to him and show him off a bit. And here's the side of his box. He has a nice Titans Return with some beautiful artwork there on the side showing the Titan Master gimmick with the head coming off. And on the other side of the box, just black Autobot logos. And but on the back of the box, there is a bit of a write-up. I'll try and get in there so you guys can pause it and read it there if you like. And it shows he transforms in 21 steps. Now, I don't know if I'm guessing it's 21 steps from robot to vehicle mode, but then he also has a third mode, which is a city mode, and it shows the spot where the Titan Master actually fits inside of Optimus Prime, and the head of Optimus Prime is compatible with all the other lines of Voyager, Deluxe, and Basics, or I guess they're called Legends class now. So the head will form and it can be compatible with all these other robots. So that's the play feature that most of these are having. So that's the window box of Powermaster Optimus Prime. So I'll bust him out of here and we'll see how he is. Now here is Powermaster Prime out of the box, standing fairly large since he is a Leader Class figure. First off, he comes with his card, a nice. I'm loving the artwork. I'm not sure who's doing it, but I'm loving the artwork on the cards. Nice finish on there, showing the Headmaster, the Titan Master gimmick that these figures are having. Now, his paint job is definitely a little bit different compared to the figure. There's some blue on here. There's no blue on the forearms or on the pipes up here. A little bit different there. And on the back of the card, we have the tech specs showing the red of what Powermaster Optimus Prime is capable of, and then when Autobot Apex is attached, it boosts his power up. So that's the card, and he comes with these two guns, solid black. These are exactly the same guns I believe Ultra Magnus came with. They're just and he is a remold of the Ultra Magnus mold, which I will show him off next to here shortly. There's a nice little 360 of the robot mode. I've always had a crush on Powermaster Optimus Prime. I used to actually own him originally as a child, so I've had a soft spot for him, and I've been on the lookout to repurchase a Powermaster Optimus Prime. I've been looking for that, so I've always enjoyed the Powermaster Optimus Prime. If you guys could stick around to the end of my videos, I have a little enjoy the play, as I like to call it. It's a little stop motion or a little skit or something showing me actually playing with the toys, because that's what they're meant to be actually done with, or they're toys. You're supposed to play with them, so I'm trying to get that. I do the hashtag on Instagram, enjoy the play. That's mine. No one else has used it yet, so if you find it, that's mine. Powermaster Prime measures 8 3/4 inches tall. One of the largest Transformers that I've reviewed, so I'm happy to get this out. I know it's late and other people have it all already, so all I can say is this is Bumblebee85 with my original take on it. Let's get a close look at Prime here. Now there's his face sculpt with the Autobot Apex inside. There's some prominent Autobot logos nicely tampered on there on both arms. Then this crazy chest piece here, kind of reminiscent of the old Powermaster Optimus Prime. Not sure why they've actually done that instead of actually letting the Titan Master actually clip onto the front. I wish they could have figured something out to make that work. On the back we have some more Autobot logos, which will form the back of the trailer. And the feet. Nice big feet, so you shouldn't be able to tip over. But there's some nice molded on detail. Like, look at all the gear work in there. Actually, there's a lot of difference as I'm looking over at Ultra Magnus. There's definitely a lot of different molding going on. So we'll show them off together here right now. I'll bring in Ultra Magnus. Here they are side by side. Back them up a little bit, get in the frame. There is a lot of different remolding going on here. Like I said, the guns are the same. I store this other black one, which will now be going to Powermaster Optimus Prime. Actually, I think this gun will be. This chest, completely different, as you can tell. The forearms, completely different. The shins, completely different. Even the thighs, these upper thigh, or the upper thighs are the same, but the lower thighs are actually different. There's like a hinge molded into the thigh there. The upper shoulders are different. The top, the smokestacks there. Obviously the head. And the back pieces to the legs are actually different, obviously. So there's definitely a lot. There's going to be some more panels, I think, on Powermaster Optimus Prime, because Ultra Magnus here was a car carrier, so there was a little more room for some open gaps. Obviously the Titan Master part where the head connects is also different. But there's a lot of different molded parts, which I'm surprised that they were able to incorporate two different, fully different characters. I'm not like how I don't like how they're doing with the Optimus and their Megatron being Optimus being Octane and Megatron being Blitzwing, and they're just remolding them or repainting them pretty much as Optimus and Megatron when they should just be Blitzwing and Octane. So, but anyway, this is a way better deal than what we've had before, or that we're going to be getting. Here's a quick view of him with a couple other primes. And I'm going to bring in Orion Pax here just because Powermaster's Prime, the Autobot Apex head Titan Master resembles a little bit more of Orion Pax mold. So it's a little quick size comparison. Here he is with Titan's Return Blur just because they're the same line. Quick little comparison to his original. I have the reissue commemorative series to Powermaster Optimus Prime from Toys R Us from 2002, I believe. And this is a quick comparison of the robot mode. Actually, there's a better shot on the top of the box here. This is the mode that they're going after. It doesn't come, the current Powermaster Optimus Prime doesn't come with the armor upgrade for him. So that is the commemorative series box. So get that out of the way, it's enormous. And then we'll get on to some articulation here for Prime in robot mode. His head is on a swivel. And he can't really look up and down. So due to the Titan Master gimmick, his head is stuck there, and this is just folds down. It's a mask, it just folds down over his face. Like so. Just snap right on there, like set. And then we have shoulder rotation all the way 360. He's got little flaps here on the shoulder to help extend his arm out, so he can get his arm fully out. And then he does have a bicep swivel and a elbow crunch, 90 degrees. And then he does have a whole finger articulation. All the fingers move together as one. He does not have a waist rotation, but he can kick. He's got nice ratchety joints all the way forward, and he can kick that far back, and he can do the splits pretty much all the way out. He does have that upper thigh cut right there, single jointed knees, nice ratchets in there, and then his toes are on a little hinge. It's almost like a double hinge in there. There's a hinge here and a hinge actually attached to the foot, but there is no ankle tilt or pivot at all. So he has the split leg stance there a little bit. So yeah, he can't get his legs together like Ultra Magnus can due to the panels forming on his legs for the trailer mode attached to him. So that's enough of Prime and robot mode. I like the robot mode, and it does remind me of the Generation 1 Powermaster Optimus Prime. First things first, for transformation it says to remove the Apex, Autobot Apex, which is his Titan Master. And we'll get a close-up shot of his face, which looks a lot like Orion Pax. And I'll bring him in here for comparison. There's the Orion Pax face. Definitely close, similar to that. And all you do to transform him, you simply just fold his legs down. They're on a double hinge. And he does have head articulation. Just a simple gray head. Gray feet. Red arms, which actually are a different red than his body. But they do have some ball jointed movement in there. So that is his head. That is Autobot Apex. Then it says to also remove all his guns. So you just pop his guns, and if you haven't already, remove the other ones off to the side. Then it says to pull down his chest piece here. So then we split open the cab right down the middle, like so. Flip this little fin up, and you bring the Powermaster head, or the shell, into the body. And then we close these up. Put that part in first, because that little flap that we folded out actually covers the top of the cab, if you do it properly. And then you close that in, and that locks it all together there, like so. Then we take the whole cab piece up and spin. Then it says come down to the feet for step 11. We unclick the panels for the trailer, and we spin them all the way out, like so. Do that on both sides. Spin, and there's a hinge here and a hinge here, and you spin those out. You're going to want to set them nice and straight. Then you want to take the feet and you just double hinge them in behind the shins. Both of them, they just double hinge nicely. They tuck right up in behind. Then there's this weird waist double hinge. You got to hinge it forward, but then you also have to rotate the legs back so that they are facing behind the truck. Then they untab from the sides. There's a couple tabs on the inside of the legs and the cab panels here that you have to unhinge and rotate back on both legs. But then there's an important tab that you have to line up here on the inside. There's this little peg here. You have to line it up with this peg on the inside, or the cab won't line up, the trailer won't line up with the cab arms here. So you have to line it up and plug that in, and that will line up this part here, right here. But you don't want to plug that in yet. So we're going to keep these little tab or little panels off to the side a little bit while we bring these up and plug those in together. You can line up the legs, you can form all the tabs and put them all together. This chest piece lays flat within the legs, so this was the chest, and now it forms a flat bed in the back of the cab, or the back of the trailer. So you line all those up and you just give them a nice little push together, and they should stay. So then you want to unpeg. These arms are in very, very tight, and they just unpeg. It's a square block. It just unpegs the whole arm on both sides. Lay them flat. You can pin them together just like the bottom of the legs in the cab trailer. They have all these tabs that have to line up, and you push them all together, and they should form together nicely. Then there's these forearm panels that flip right over, and then on the inside of the cab, or the trailer panels, you have to make sure you tuck those in on both sides, nice and gentle, so nothing comes unpegged. You pin those like that, you pin that like that, straighten that out. Then you can bring these panels in, and this is finally only step 19, where you're clicking these panels in on here and on the top, like so. So there's a notch here, a notch there, and then all these notches here, you peg those in, and then that becomes nice and solid. Takes a little work, takes a few tries to get that all lined up properly and figuring out what those leg panels plug into, and then you finally can come down to where you pull the cab of Optimus Prime down and then forward, and that gives the whole trailer mechanism the ability to turn left and right with clearance and everything you need to have a functioning truck mode. And finally, that was step 21. And on the back of the box, it said we had 21 steps. I feel like there's a little more steps involved just because of all the panels having to line up properly to make it work. So you do also have gun storage. It shows the 2 gray guns, which I didn't show off before, where a Titan Master can, again, sit inside and ride around in. That's the idea of the play feature. These little guys can be everywhere. There's little pegs on the top of the cab, and there's little peg holes in the bottom of the feet, so you can have several Titan Masters walk around. And then there's more on the side here, which are for base mode, which I'll show off in a second. But the plug, we plug these guns here on the side, like so. There's a couple holes. There's holes everywhere, little pegs. Plug those in. Then it also shows gun storage on the top here, like so. And you're supposed to use this other gun on the other side, but I'm going to use the other gun because that was more of a Powermaster Prime weapon. So that's all storage. And then Apex here, and you can split open the cab and completely fit him inside. There's a little chair at the back of Powermaster Prime's head. Actually forms a little chair, and you can actually take it and put him inside of the cab. Unlike the original that had the Power Master gimmick, these are Titan Masters. The Power Master gimmick here on the box showed Autobot Apex, or you can attach Generi to the front of the cab. So you would actually attach him right onto the front of the cab here. Like there, that little guy formed a robot, and the extra power it needed to power the robot in vehicle mode. But anyway, that was the Power Master gimmick, or anyway, back in the 80s. This is the Titan Master. They're giving us a Headmaster, Power Master gimmick, or a lot of the Headmasters that they're giving us are actually, or were Target Masters or Power Masters of some sort. Now here is a quick comparison with him with the Ultra Magnus cab or truck. You can see the differences. They're obviously about the same length, same width. The cabs you can see are actually molded different. Prime's a little bigger. There's definitely a bigger Autobot logo on the front here with the guns attached and so on. You can definitely see the different parts that were molded. The whole panels, they were reminiscent of the actual G1 figure. They had a lot of panel transformation there. But anyway, that was a quick comparison. You can even see like the cab, the smokestacks are different. I find it amazingly how they incorporated an Ultra Magnus mold and turned it into Powermaster Optimus Prime. But here we go. I'm going to try and quickly get this in for the base mode he has. It's removing the weapons, like so, quickly. Try not to make this video long, trying to learn how to do transformations quicker here. We want to spin 180, pop the side panels off, like so, right out completely with the Autobot logo. Popping the forearm panels, like so, off. Flipping those up. Taking the arms apart. I want to clip them right in and actually stand them right up, like so. Then we split the legs, and we actually do fold them back in on themselves, like so. Craziness going on with the legs. You kind of just want to level them out, flatten them out, put them in the ramps. The panels actually on the the trailer panels actually form the side, and they form in behind like so. But basically that is your trailer mode or your base mode, and there isn't anything special about this mode. I remember the panels actually forming out to the side, I think, on the G1, kind of like more like so, like that. Yeah, you can take a quick pic of that. See the base mode, the panels kind of went out on the side. The arms are up, basically the same. We'll do that fan mode. There's a fan mode of this. You can definitely check it out. And it shows plugging in all the weapons, just like the original toy. There's lots of pegs and holes everywhere. Remember these being on the side, kind of get his hands holding the weapons. Yeah, I think this mode was definitely like an add-on afterwards. Like, ooh, we have a Powermaster Optimus Prime. He has 3 modes. Let's give him this mode. And he does connect to Fortress Maximus, who I do not have yet. There it shows Fortress Maximus combined with Powermaster Optimus Prime and Autobot Blaster in the directions. So this is a more G1-ish look. So I will probably keep the legs out to the side more. And yeah, there's this little thing back here. Also, I don't know what the point is, but it's to raise the cab up. Just folds out. I actually like it. I force it and I flip it to there. It just feels more sturdier. Is that a word? Sturdy. And it just levels it out, I think, better. And I like the cab panels out to the side more like the G1 toy. And that's how I think I'll probably be displaying it. And then you can take Legends class figures and put them on the front control panel here, as if they're operating the base type thing. So you can definitely have other characters interact with the base mode. And definitely, if you can attach this with the Fortress Maximus, that would be amazing. So now, my final thoughts with Powermaster Optimus Prime here. I really like it. It's a very good update from what we used to have as that block city or block robot, block vehicle. We have a little bit, the cab is actually separated from the trailer, so we have some movement with the vehicle mode. I have an issue with the stance on the feet or the legs, where we have this A-frame stance, and now his feet don't really kind of like lay flat on the ground. And then when trying to twist his feet, I find that the panels on for the trailer kind of get in the way, or if I'm trying to like they kind of like pop apart a little bit. And I don't like how the Power Master actually, or the Titan Master, doesn't form the actual Power Master gimmick and the engine block. I don't like that. I wish they could have found a way to make him do both. Like, even if I could have plugged him somehow onto the front of the cab, I would have really, really liked that. I liked how the great guns are really reminiscent of the actual G1 same guns that he came with originally. And then now that I have Ultra Magnus and him, so now he has two of the same guns. He only came with one, and then one of these. Now I like how he has all four guns, how the original Power Master Prime came with. So these guns will go to Ultra Magnus, and the other two guns attached to Ultra Magnus, who I never really owned as a child, so I own Power Master Prime. He gets the guns that I remember. I also like how the chest looks like it's transforming, kind of. So that's a plus on the gimmick not being there. Like the window of the cab looks like it's separating. I don't know. I like that part, but I have a man crush, like I said before, on Power Master Optimus Prime, and there's no peg issues from the cab to the trailer that I have to worry about. So this is a very nice updated form of Power Master Optimus Prime, and I like this head gimmick better than the Galvatron head gimmick, where it just looks like clunky. The original Power Master Optimus Prime head was clunky, and this is a good form-fitting head for the mold. So, and it has all the posability the original G1 Prime head actually had anyway. So this is Bumblebee 85 saying enjoy the play. I'm a brick transformer. That's what I am. It's time for the old age home for me. I'll never be past my prime. Never. Finally, 30 years later, they make the Power Master Optimus Prime to beat all Power Master Optimus Primes. My hips have never been better. Never! Okay, I pulled something. Someone call a doctor. Ratchet, we need you!